CoVersity is for the youth like me, the 14 to 21 years old guys like us. So yeah, it's for us who is wanting to discover our passion and kind of grow through it professionally. Like we explore different stuff, deep dive into one or multiple interests of ours, and kind of put in all our efforts and time into that interest and kind of build an expertise in that. And maybe if we want to kind of turn it into a career, it's our choice. So yeah, we kind of do lots of work, basically industry specific work, I would say. Like we go into the industry and work so that we understand how this industry work and see what our place is in it. So yeah, we also equally give importance to ourselves and kind of do some self-visioning sessions or something like that together to kind of grow as a person too.
Okay, so I'm very excited. Hi guys. Hi.
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 Okay, so we have Liana. Raise hand, please. Liana, Joshua, and Aparna here, who are kind of experiencing the boot camp for this week, where they are getting a glimpse of some of the highlights of CoVersity. So here we are, kind of talking with them and discussing with them on how as youth they are charting their professional journey. So, okay, Srijani, let's start. Let's take the floor on with some of questions that you generally face when they're, kind of deciding on what their profession should be.
Yeah, definitely. So, okay, once if you talk about the career or CoVersity or whatever it is, we generally talk or think more about what interest that we want to take up for maybe 6 months or 1 year or lifetime. So yeah, so interest and then like exploring and making it into a passion, and then if we want, we can make it into a profession. So what are your thoughts in making your interest to passion and passion to your profession?
Would you like to take this?
So it would take some time and a lot of work to actually decide that your interest is your passion. And then holding on to that passion is another thing. Like you could always change interests or be very different, and it could change and it could eventually not become your profession. But yeah, if you spend a lot of time with your interest to passion, it'll eventually become a profession if you want it to.
Yes, yes. Any other thoughts from Liana?
As a person who hasn't yet found her passion, I would say that it's important to explore lots of things because you don't know what's out there. So it's important to mentorships, internships, something like this also. It's important to explore.
Yeah.
True, true. Absolutely. I think as we all can see, the only way to discover if we are, truly interested in a particular domain is only when we've kind of deep dived into it and seen how this industry that we are, looking at, if we want to make it our profession, whether, we kind of understand that before we make a decision if it has to become our profession or not, right? So whatever, whether we have one interest or multiple interests, or very naturally, if we are unsure of our interests, the only choice is go about, deep dive, do more work in your area of interest, and for a considerable amount of time. It's not just a very quiet, okay, now on and off, but yeah, do a considerable amount of time to see whether that's your passion. Okay, so somehow this whole aspect of finding your profession or discovering your passion, how do you feel if you're doing it along with a cohort of other youth who are also in that process of finding their passion? If you could share what that does to you as a person and how it kind of enriches or what it does to the process of you all being together. So in a way, you guys have been experiencing that, right? Like the last 2-3 days, you have been co-creating your week in terms of what all you want to do, how much time is dedicated for each activity. Everything is decided by you guys. So what does that kind of co-creation do to you at an individual level and maybe at a group level?
Um, uh,
Aparna, you want to
yeah.
share?
Yeah. So for me, I feel that doing it as a group, I get to look out for more options, more ideas come in. It's not only about me, it's about a group. So everybody should be satisfied. And since I'm doing it with a group, and their perspective helps me with the kind of work which I do. It's not just about me and my perspectives. Since I get a lot of new ideas, I can make my work much better, and it really helps me in that way.
Sure, sure. Maybe Liana, you want to add, like, it's not all rosy, right? You guys had your own views. Sometimes they were not matching. Then how are you guys going about it? Tell us about that.
Like sometimes it's hard, especially since people are so different. That is a blessing and a curse. On the one hand, you get a new viewpoint, but on the other, it's hard to find something everybody agrees on for like a group project or even just a song everybody knows. And it can take some working through, honestly, and a lot of teamwork. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
In fact, that's how this whole society is all about. Like, we'll be in the world with the different types of people. So, in fact, that's amazing. Like, we're getting to experience that here. And also that we get a lot of emotional support too. Like, it could be as simple as how was your day, could kind of make a lot of change, I feel. So, yeah. Like we are 8 people with different backgrounds, different cultures, different perspective and thoughts. So it was nice kind of meeting all of them. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And I can thoroughly see that happening right through the last 2 days, right? Wherever there's a gap, somebody is trying to chip in. So there is that synergy or that group work or that group effort that comes in. And that's very beautiful to watch as from an external point of view. Okay. You want to ask something, Srijani?
Yeah. So maybe we are kind of talking more about deep dive, deep dive, deep dive, right? So yeah, maybe deep diving into one interest or multiple interests one by one. So what is your view on deep diving into a specific interest?
About that? Yeah, okay. So for me, deep dive is something which I am really excited about. And since I deep dive in one thing, I get to know about one thing more. As in, I get to know more details, more uniqueness of it. If I'm just scattered, I'll be like jack of all, master of none. But if I'm deep diving in one thing, I get to know more about it, which helps me to get more detailed in it and which makes me more perfect in it instead of scattering myself in a lot of new things.
Sure, sure. And somewhere, if you see at the boot camp, all of you I know have taken a challenge in your respective interests. And so somewhere the intention is, okay, can we for the next 5 days look at some aspect in our interest area and try and go deeper and accomplish something on it. So Joshua, you want to share your experience on how you're deep diving in your area of interest, that is designing?
So deep diving.
You could talk about your challenge that you have taken up for the week.
So far, I am making a human in Blender, so which requires the actual model, and then you you need to make like a skeleton for all the joints. So the skeleton is one thing, but the actual model to make that is something else that you need like a lot of skills.
Right, right. And you want to share like how you feel after the progress that you've made, like how has it been for you? You want to share that?
Like, hmm, like, um, I feel like I'm not sure if I would be able to finish it in the 5 days,
Mm-hmm. Okay.
but I want to really try. Hmm.
Sure, sure, sure. Yeah. Liana, you want to add in something?
Okay. For mine, I wasn't very sure until I got here. I switched it. So I was going to study parts of photography, which were lighting and composition. So when I got into it, I figured out how vast just one of those fields were. I mean, there's so much to it. Um, and like I feel while deep diving in it, you kind of see everything. Like I took composition. So I'm like, oh, these are lines and those are colors, and it was a new experience.
Yeah, and it's also like we kind of figure out when we only start doing it. Like we get to know even more better when we start doing it rather than just like looking into it or dreaming about it. So yeah.
Yeah. And somewhere like a huge deal about CoVersity is like it's a self-led journey. So you are your own motivation because you are interested about a domain. You are kind of taking in charge of your learning journey, your professional journey, and that's how life is as well, right? So what do you have to say about taking responsibility to chart this journey and setting your goals and working towards it with solid commitment?
Okay, so for me, it's something which I am interested in, and since I have chosen that I want this to be a part of my life, so I don't think that so there should be somebody back in me pushing, pushing, pushing. Rather, I take up that responsibility because I wish to become somebody like this. So I take up that responsibility and I try to build myself because I'm doing this for myself, for my betterment. So I just feel that I should take up the responsibility and for making myself better.
Okay. Any of you?
As Aparna said, that responsibility is actually a bigger thing, I would say. In fact, like we start our journey according to our dreams and achievements that we want to achieve for ourselves, and then kind of do it in our own way, in our own pace, in our own style. Like no one is kind of pressuring on to do it that way, this way, or something. But it's rather how I want to do. Of course, there are people to help us when I'm going in a wrong direction or kind of hesitating to do. So yeah, and that response that you get to do this, and of course you have that responsibility about yourself, and which technically develop that self-discipline and also kind of self-leadership, I would say.
Yeah. But one myth I want to burst here about self-directed learning or self-directed journeys is often we think if we are on a self-directed journey, we are by ourselves, we have to learn everything by ourselves. So maybe do any of you want to clarify? That's so not the case. Like there's ample support here and and various types of support. But all you got to do is ask. Ask is a very big thing. I think you guys have heard me say or heard everyone say a lot at campus that ask. So maybe, yeah, you want to add in something?
Yeah, maybe if we can share our bootcamp experience now that we are for B. Of course, we had been to the ups and downs. So how is the support coming through, like from which forms? Maybe we can share that.
I would say that like you said, um, just because we're directing ourselves and we're responsible for our own journey doesn't mean we're completely isolated. It only means we are responsible for seeking out help, for asking for help. And like especially here, ask has been very emphasized that if you want something, you can't just sit there, wait for somebody to come to you because you're in charge of your journey. You need to go and get it and ask somebody for any resources or help. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also while interacting with different people, I get to know, like for me, for my sketching, while I was interacting, one bootcamp member told me that if you can learn this, that this will help you in this. So that kind of interaction also helped me in a way to make that much better.
Yeah, one thing here, Liana, you want to share when you kind of started asking, how did you feel? Like, what did it do to you at a personal level? Like, how was it? Like, you're asking for help and you're reaching out. So what is that experience like?
Like I feel in lots of learning facilities like classes or extracurriculars I've done, usually the help comes to you. You come, there's a
Mhm.
teacher, and the help comes to you. But here you kind of have to take more responsibility, and it makes you feel more independent. And yeah,
Yeah, and I also want to add that in this boot camp, I also took a challenge for me myself of exploring different ingredients in baking a cake. So yeah, first day I was fine doing all of stuff by myself, but somewhere at the second day I felt stuck. I didn't know what to do, and that's where Kritika, like the guides who kind of be here, kind of helped me little prompt me, I would say, kind of prompt me so that I can think more, and I myself got clarity, but it's just that one push or one prompt that kind of clicked me. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So that's how the journey is at CoVersity. So nobody is kind of going to, transport you somewhere, but we're going to be showing you directions and various directions, opening up multiple angles and pushing you in all directions and to see you decide which direction you want to take. But as guides, mentors, we are there to kind of give you multiple perspectives. Um, okay. So I think anything else you guys want to share in terms of the boot camp, the experience in general?
It was actually quite nice interacting with different people who are from different states, different countries, different culture, different language, and with lot of differences. So we needed some time to just get together, but yeah, we are just going quite good right now.
Yeah, yeah, and maybe you guys could. So it's not all work, work, work. Somewhere I could see you guys, humming along and singing along in your full glory to some song. So maybe you want to share about your fun activities that you guys are planning, like, and how that kind of, how that adds into the whole experience.
Okay. So first we decided that yesterday we thought we'll do dance. So then we started practicing some dance steps. Then we were like, no, we don't want to do this anymore. So today then we decided we'll go to music, and we actually took some time to get through a common song because we had different language songs and some didn't know the song. So finally we just got up with some 2-3 songs, and now I guess we are just trying to practice it more and just sing it. It's just like a fun activity for us to just get relaxed.
Yeah, yeah. You want to add in what the fun activity does to you? Maybe how has it been for you?
Yeah, I would say like just before that we were kind of singing and all. I was a little low because of my personal reasons. So I felt after that being in a group, singing it aloud, and also that the song we chose was my favorite song, so it kind of little boosted up my mood too.
Okay, okay. So, all right, somewhere, along the course of the boot camp, we've also been discussing various elements that you get to experience on a CoVersity journey. Maybe each one of you could share which is the one part that connects with you the most, and maybe share something more. What is it that is the highlight? Maybe those things you would like to share.
Okay, so I'll start. So the group project which we are doing is like a kind of highlight for me because we had to do a lot of budgeting, measurements, recipes, quantities, posters, marketing, and quite a lot. It was just a new experience for me because we planned that we'll make some goodies and sell it to the students who are studying in the nearby school. So we had to like figure out all the materials and quite a lot because yeah.
So you mean to say the experience of working with a cohort and co-creating the whole plan is what kind of connects with you, right?
Yeah, and also since we are doing it as a group, we splitted the work in between ourselves because everybody doing a single work, it becomes too much. So we just splitted the work in between us, which kind of helped us do the work and just finish it on time. So doing it as a group, it really helped us a lot.
Yeah, yeah, definitely it did. And also, in my case, I really enjoyed how seriously we were working, and at the same time, how fun we were kind of enjoying our fun activity too. It's like, and in fact, it's also fun when you're doing serious work together, I felt. So, yeah, that was one of the interesting thing being in a group, and also that you get to live your passion. That's one of the major things I really love about CoVersity, is that you live your passion, like stuff you dreamt about the whole time, like you're now doing it actually. So yeah, like, yeah, and the support that you get from the mentors, from the guides also is like, gives me that comfort that I'm not alone, I'm not isolated or something like that.
Yeah. Liana, you want to share what has been the most interesting thing about CoVersity for you?
For me, I feel like the whole experience is very new. I have never done anything like this before. When we talk about our interests and stuff, I have, like, other than extracurricular classes, there's never been a space to like focus solely on that for 5 days and focus on your passion. And also the group activities is another thing that is very new to me. Like different people all over the place giving inputs, and we had a team for making posters and a team for baking and a team for the math. It was, I feel overall it's something beautiful. Yeah.
Okay.
Also, it's new for you to experience Aarohi campus too. So do you want a little share about that too?
Actually, like the first day, I'll be honest, I was feeling a little homesick because like new environment, new place, and the timings of things were very different than from where we come. And I went outside, but it was dark, and there was this huge frog, and I was not used to that. But like the campus in itself is this really quiet, pristine area where if you want to think or like meditate, it's beautiful, really. Joshua,
Okay.
would you like to add something?
Yeah, Joshua, you could add.
Like, there was not a specific highlight of the entire thing. All of them was like really, really, what do you call it, very interesting things. And yeah, the activities and all were nice. And had fun even at the campus care. That was fun. Yeah.
Okay, so I think I had a wonderful time, interacting with all of you. I have been doing that for the past 2 days, but it's even more special when we are, not in a very hectic, fast-paced, action-packed boot camp, but this is like a more of a breather, relaxedly enjoying and discussing our stuff. So thank you for joining in, whoever has joined us. And you want to add something?
Yeah, it was nice. Like more openly talking about, especially about CoVersity and the experience we had. We did not really talk about overall experience till now, so it was nice knowing each of your perspectives. So yeah, meet you downstairs.
So, okay, thank you all who have joined us on a Wednesday afternoon. And people who will be watching this later, do share your thoughts, comments, feedback. And if you have any special topic or a concern related to a youth or a parent that you would want us to address, do let us know in the comments and we shall take it up in the future live sessions. Okay, thank you guys. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.